You know,
Exactly.
the water powered car, right?
Oh yeah, that one dude invented it? I forgot his name.
Yeah. I don't know his name, but like you know how he made like a water powered car,
Yeah,
and like the crazy thing was that like oil companies were like just
threatening
going
him.
to like yeah they were like, hey, destroy everything you have on the water powered car, like just destroy it, because if a water powered car actually does work and like people could drive with just water, then fucking oil company would be like out of
Out of
business. Like
business.
they would lose.
Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Deep Conscious. I am here with CrabMeat. All right, you want to say anything before we get started?
Not really. Howdy, how's everyone doing?
This was good. It was good. So, you want to talk about like the 1%?
The 1%, the wealthy, whatever.
Yeah, you want to talk about it or?
Oh, so basically, like the wealthy people, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rockefellers. Yeah,
yeah, and
Rothschilds.
those
Yeah,
families who has like trillions and trillions,
yeah,
and like how there was like apparently on the news or some shit like this, they were like saying that people, the rich wants to like tax everyone equally and everything, that jazz. And when I read that, I personally thought it was really, really dumb, because the rich are just trying to get out of paying, having to pay more profit and all those jazz.
yeah,
Yeah. And when I was reading that, I was like, the rich are only trying to get out of paying, having to pay their fair share, because when you think about it, you know how you strive to have $1 million, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So let's say $1 million is like $100 bill, yeah, right?
Okay, yeah,
So you have to have $100, and fucking while you only have like 100, you strive to have 100. These dudes are like making millions and millions off like probably seconds or hours. While
yeah,
you're working your ass off for a lifetime to make 1 million, then these guys are just like making that million like an hour, probably less.
yeah,
And when they when they want to make taxes like equal, they're just trying to like, all right. So if you take a guy who's making, let's say, $50,000 a year, and you tax him like 10%, that's like a huge blow to him. Well, not a huge blow, but like it's still a blow to him, because he has to worry about paying for like medical bills, insurance, mortgage, all that, fucking buying food and all that. And a lot of the 1%, if you tax him, let's say that he's making $1 million a year, and you tax him 10%, that's like $100,000, and he still has $900,000 to spend and keeping his life insurance. He's pretty basically stacked and all that stuff.
yeah,
So what I don't get is just the government doesn't want to tax the rich that much. Like they're taxing the normal paying Americans and all that jazz. Because basically, just if those dudes could like donate like something basically pointless or something to charity, or like not pointless because they're doing something, they could like get out of that tax paying things, having to pay taxes and all that jazz.
yeah. But if they like, when you say donate, are you talking about like the rich?
Yeah, like the rich.
But if they do donate that much, like think about it like the value of money, right? Like we live
Yeah,
in like basically, the rich stay rich, the poor works for the rich, and that's how they stay rich, right?
yeah.
If they donate to the poor, then the poor doesn't have to work for them, which hurts them.
I mean, yeah, I get that, but like, you actually also think about the average American who's like struggling to make ends meet.
Yeah, like working three jobs and yeah,
Yeah, and the rich is just like
sitting there.
Yeah, just sitting there on their asses, not doing jack shit. Although, those, I guess some things are good, they're donating to charity, but it's basically charity they're picking, and probably they're making profit back anyways when they donate to those charities.
Yeah. But when you brought up the government, I actually want to talk about it. So like most of the 1% who like do like most of the sponsors are like ran by the 1%, and the government just like approves it or sponsors it. So like for example, do you know the Rockefeller family?
Yeah, I kind of know. They have like trillions or some shit
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, I don't know how much they have, but like they basically like started like America. Like, all right, so John D. Rockefeller, right? He started the Board of Education, so the school system that me or you in today, right?
Yeah.
He made millions off of that with Franklin Gates, um, and his brother. I don't remember his name by heart, but he did the medical industry, right? All the medical like pharmacies, right? So like all the
Yeah.
drugs that are being produced. If they, I feel like, and then think about it, they're making good money, like not good money, like a crap ton of money, and if they give it out to like if they like say, oh, can you promote this to like government or like mayors and stuff, then they'll approve it because they might think, oh, it's a good idea that people are getting drugs or that help them with their sickness or even going to school, right? But they don't look at the long effect, right? Because John D. Rockefeller's what do you call it, his plan for school was he doesn't want a nation of thinkers, he wants a nation of workers. That's his quotes. And he basically wants the children who go to school to adapt the 9 to 5 so they can work for him.
Yeah, and that's basically why schools like fucking making students depressed nowadays. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, all that jazz, anxiety and all that shit. It's skyrocketed, rocket. Because I was reading this thing like apparently anxiety, well, a normal high schooler has an anxiety of a insane
Oh
dude
yeah.
from
The
1950s.
yeah, the 60s. Yeah, I read that.
Yeah,
No,
it's just like crazy to think these like basically me and you like 17-year-olds and like lower than that are basically being forced to go because if we don't go, then we'll get in trouble with the law.
yeah. Well, like,
Yes.
yeah, I think that's so dumb. If we don't go, they'll give us a letter, and then if we still don't go, they'll like take our parents to court and possibly lock them up,
Yeah,
which
it's
is
like
stupid.
you're forcing them to go. Like it's really dumb because you know, geez, Mark Zuckerberg, right?
Yeah,
It's crazy to me. He got into fucking accepted into Harvard and he didn't go because he kind of knew that school was like kind of scam, like paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for like it's like a year of school.
yeah. And I want to talk like money, like in today's society, and I think just overall any time period, money is everything, right? Because
Money, yeah,
like I did this video, I got taken down though, but I'm gonna be careful what I say. What's this? Bill Gates, right? You know him, of course.
yeah,
He does not have a doctor's degree, but he can produce and administrate things like a doctor can, and it's because of the money he has.
yeah. The
And
power and wealth.
it's the power and the wealth, and everyone's like, "Oh, okay, you're doing great," And I think that's like so dumb because like like if you look at him and like what he has done, the long term effect has hurting people overall, and nobody just looks at it because like the power and the money he has.
Yeah,
But
it's
go ahead.
like, oh, I was just thinking like basically the power. In the Constitution how it says "we the people," right?
Yeah,
And it doesn't say "we the government." It's like I feel like our power of the people is getting taken away from the government.
I mean,
It's just
this is how I feel. Like I feel like the government like has no power. I feel like it's the media like nowadays.
Media,
Like what?
like,
Like think about like okay, this is actually perfect for us. Like you know, like what happened Friday, right? At school, right? Like we got to take off our masks.
oh yeah, yeah.
And look at the news now. Nobody is talking about it.
No one's talking about like COVID and all
Yeah,
that jazz.
yeah. Everyone's talking about what's going on in Ukraine.
It's basically like the fear factor,
Oh yeah,
like
it's
trying to
fear.
control you, yeah, by fear and all that. Like, because in 2020 they shut down everything. Like, oh, COVID, it's bad. It's all this jazz, you know.
Yeah,
Like fucking Jeff Bezos and like other billions and millions here were making profit out of COVID,
oh
which
yeah.
was why the average American were like suffering just by having to pay rent, having to pay medical bills and all that.
And then that's why they had to come out with like stimulus checks to help out, and
Yeah. Well, this dude Jeff Bezos, he's making millions off that year of profit.
yeah, and honestly, I mean, he could have helped out by giving money away, but I guess he kind of was a help out because like most people turned to him since all stores shut down.
Yeah,
So I mean, he was a win-win situation and kind of a loss.
yeah. You know, wait, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, feel good stories, right? Like, oh, this dude helps this other dude, or like, the kid who fucking started a lemonade stand, and like she was raising money for like a student who had cancer in her school or something. I don't know if you read it. I think it was like a long time ago.
I think I heard of them. I think I heard of something like that.
Yeah, and like just like all that jazz. It's crazy to me that a little girl had to start a profit, like a fundraiser basically, to help this little kid who was suffering from cancer, and the government, or like the family, they couldn't pay the medical bills and all that. It's just crazy because what if like that little girl didn't start it, then that boy would be like suffering, and
Yeah.
parents wouldn't be had any money. Basically, they would be suffering and having to witness their child like suffer this terrible illness. It's just like crazy to me.
Yeah, but I feel like that's how much like I feel like that's how money controls you or makes you corrupt in a way. Like if you see like a little kid, right? I feel like you're so greedy to the point where it's like, nah, I need to keep this. Because
Yeah,
if I be too kind and give out my money to everyone, then I might lose it. Kind of like you hear those stories where like people win the lottery and then like all their family members, all their friends call them and be like, "Hey man, how's it going? Blah blah blah. Can you help me out? I'm like 20K in debt or something like that."
yeah,
Yeah, so I feel like millionaires or even like billionaires or like even the 1% just gets to the point where they're like, okay, if I'm too kind and too gullible to these companies and organizations, then I might lose all my money or I might hurt myself financially.
yeah.
But I don't support it, I don't support these like 1% being greedy.
Yeah, I don't support that either. You know how Elon Musk? Yeah, I think heard about this,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like when Elon Musk like was like, "All right, you want me to give you money? Show me like the data and all that." I feel like that's kind of like what the millionaires and billionaires are trying to avoid, because they don't want to pay government thing. It's kind of mixed feeling with like the rich and wealthy. Like, one hand, I mean, they're all right, they're just doing their own thing. I mean, they got rich by doing their own thing, but like on the other hand, it's just like, do you really want to see kids basically suffer from cancer? It's like kind of a justice thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because us by ourselves, we can't do nothing. Like that cancer program you're paying $20 for. Yeah, you feel good about donating, but like you by yourself donating that $20 won't do jack to help that kid. But like unless you're like a billionaire or a millionaire or something, unless you're just one of those guys, then you just don't even, you by yourself can't do nothing. Something like that.
Okay, speaking of Elon Musk, have you heard like what I think this was a while ago. I think this was like October of 2020. No, 2021. Have you heard like what the United Nations said?
Uh, what was it again? I think I was
So
talking about it.
so it was like United Nations, I don't know if this was Twitter or something, but they said 2% of Elon Musk could solve world hunger. And it was like the United Nations Foods like organization director or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, and basically he said um
show me the proof.
he said like something like that. And then he said like show me the proof and I will sell Tesla stocks right now and do it.
And like the United Nations was like, oh
They
shit, they got us. Like,
yeah,
oh,
they shut up after that.
yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy to think that.
And these are people that are supposed to be like on top of it or working on it, and this is just like a billionaire working on space.
Exactly, Elon Musk. It's space and Tesla.
Yeah, and like self-driving cars. Yeah,
Yeah,
how do you feel about that? Like probably in like 5 more years, like every car is gonna be like self-drone or electric.
I feel like once cars are self-driven and electric, then everyone will basically be out of jobs and stuff. Like most of the jobs will be taken over by robots or like it's yeah, robots and stuff. And people will be like factory workers or like people who depends on certain jobs to bring in income will like have to suffer. I feel like um our wealth gap will go like more. It would open more basically. The rich will get richer and the poor would get poorer.
Yeah, and that's how like capitalism works.
Yeah, and like with information coming in and all that, it's gonna get a lot worse. Because when like we're 60, the money you be saving up by then, it could basically just be pointless by then.
So like, do you think like for like self-driving cars? So like, say like a city bus, for example. Do you feel like there's gonna be like a human, like keeping an eye on it?
Depending how like maybe in like 50 years there won't be any humans
Oh
watching
yeah,
it.
yeah, oh, yeah, for sure.
I
But
mean,
like,
there is self-driving trains, so without like having a human in there.
yeah,
Yeah, so I feel like it'll be something like that.
yeah, but like at the jump, I feel like a human might be there monitoring it, making sure nothing goes wrong or like
Yeah, but I feel like the United States, right?
yeah, of
No,
course.
obviously, of course. But you know how Japan, they're like they already have like fucking toilets that could wipe your ass for you,
I know,
basically, or like,
yeah,
water and shit. And like they already have robots and all that jazz. While we in America, we don't have all those fancy things. We're just like basically chilling. It's basically because like Americans are just like scared of technology. So I highly doubt self-driving cars and all that jazz will be like a big stream media type, or not media, but a big stream like thing that every single American would have, because a lot of Americans don't trust technology.
yeah. I mean, I feel like we do trust technology, but to a certain point, because like, oh, if Apple came out with a new phone, of course, like a lot of people are gonna go buy it, especially if it has like 4 cameras and only one camera will work.
Yeah,
I feel like when it comes down to certain things, everyone will trust it, but like a self-driving car and stuff, that's a lot for people.
yeah. So I would rather have a human like I could trust with kind of my life, but not
Oh
all
yeah,
humans, rather than a robot. Because a robot and a human are not the same. They like a human would show some sort of compassion. They would like try to find the best way to get out that situation. But like with a robot, I feel like it could program to be like, oh, be more, I don't know, to humans or some shit and or that jazz. But like humans are humans, robots are robots. Like they won't ever be the same thing.
Okay, so how do you feel about like the future of AI?
Future of AI.
Yeah, do you think they're like gonna be too advanced for us?
I mean, they could like. I don't think that in I Robot were like Will Smith I Robot, like
Yeah,
when robot took over like a motherboard basically. I don't think that would happen because like humans are like just would be there and like they could just shut it off, but basically a robot. Hmm. I don't know how to feel about just robots. I feel like I don't trust them at all.
definitely. But like, no, Cat, we kind of use AI day to day basic. I feel like, and here's how I feel like on like AIs and like just overall the world. I feel like we're already advanced, right? We have self driving cars and electric cars. I think we should focus on like other things like getting water to everyone, accessible accessible clean water, and like getting food to people, right?
Yeah, but like it's the wealthy that doesn't want
Exactly.
the water powered car, right?
Oh yeah, that one dude invented, I forgot his name.
Yeah. I don't know his name, but like you know how he made like a water powered car,
Yeah,
and like the crazy thing was that like oil companies were like just
threatening
going
him.
to like yeah they were like, hey, destroy everything you have on the water powered car, like just destroy it because if a water powered car actually does work and like people could drive with just water, then fucking oil company would be like out of
Out of
business. Like
business.
they would lose all their profits and all that jazz.
Yeah,
Like I feel like we could have been more advanced, but like just the greed of
it's the
humans.
greed. Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah,
the greed.
just the greed of humans are like forcing us to stay in this line of like having to work, having to like basically work our asses off and all that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we shouldn't work and all that, but like to a point, I feel like
No, no, I definitely get you. I feel like we should work, but we are overworking way too much. We could be using accessible water to get to point A and B, and then we could be using, I don't know, oil for something useful, right?
no,
Something.
we could have had free electricity
Oh yeah,
basically because of Nicholas Tesla
Tesla.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, how he invented that coil or some Tesla coil,
yeah, the
and like
Tesla car.
he
Yeah,
wanted to make free electricity for everyone, but like his thing apparently burnt down, quote unquote.
yeah, burnt
But
down.
yeah, it was the government. Like, there's no doubt, the government or like the oil companies who's making profits off of like people paying their electric bills.
Exactly. And you want to know the thing about the water? The guy who built the water car.
Yeah,
So he was in a bar with his brother or cousin, and and he had an investor. He had someone who was actually investing in it. So he took like a sip of like water, coffee, or tea, something, right? And then he like hits the ground, and then he told his brother or cousin that they poisoned him.
yeah,
And then,
yeah. I've
yeah,
seen that.
and then
Like,
after that, his like home was like not raided, but like the government came to his home, took the car, took every evidence, and then they basically told the public like, oh yeah, it didn't work. But
yeah,
if you find his name, right, and search up like car, there's actual video of him driving it.
yeah. I seen those videos. It's like that could have been the future. Like, if if humans weren't so greedy, we could have like water powered cars that doesn't pollute as much as like gas driven cars or electric driven cars.
Exactly. So I
I,
actually
I
go ahead.
yeah. Oh, I was just gonna say, I feel like if we go ahead with these electric powered cars, it's just basically like we're producing, not producing, but we don't have to use more oil and like coal because of like the power we're using to power the electric cars. So I feel like electric cars are just literally the same as gas powered cars because you're wasting energy unless you have some sort of like solar panel
Yeah.
connected to your tank, then yeah, it's just don't be the same.
All right. So here's my thing. How do you feel on Oh man, what was I gonna say? Dang, I forgot what I was gonna say.
But like, I feel like what the government thinks, spoilers, well, not spoilers, or like kind of spoilers for the Attack on Titan and stuff. So, I don't know if you've seen Attack on Titan. Have you?
What season are we talking about?
Season three.
Oh, then
Like,
yeah, I seen it.
yeah, you seen it? You know how like the MPs, basically military police in Sheena and basically that, how they were like searching people and all that, because in the anime, this one guard, like the guard that like Hanji and those people are torturing and stuff, he was like, "We killed this horrid couples or something like that who was trying to fly outside the wall." I feel like that's basically like kind of what the military, not military, but what our government is doing. I feel like it's the same thing. Kind of, they're preventing us to see what's over this wall, basically.
But I feel like there's like, and like if you go down the rabbit hole, right, which I've done multiple times, I still do it today. Have you heard of like Dr. Sevi?
Dr. Sevi, what did they do?
He was a doctor who basically like by eating a certain diet, he cured cancer, AIDS, diabetes, arthritis, like all these uncurable cancer too. That's the big one. All these like uncurable diseases and stuff, and like you have to like spend so much just to stay alive, right?
Yeah,
He had this specific diet called the alkaline diet, and by eating it, staying healthy, getting out, somewhat a day, but really sticking to that diet, you can live for a while. And he's like 80, he was like 80 something years old, and he got down on his knees. He did like a whole, he didn't do a flip, but like I think he did a cartwheel, and everyone was shocked, because like he was old, but like he moved like a 20 something year old.
yeah,
So basically what happened is, right, his name, like his name started to get like popular and stuff, right? Because like people would come back and they would go to the doctor. It was like, what the hell, you're cured from AIDS, there's nothing in your body, and there's like no cancer. So he was taken to court because I think he didn't have a license to do this, right?
yeah.
But for his defense, he took all of his patients, excuse me, and they all said like, oh, I had this, and they all came back clean, right? They were fully cured, fully healthy, and but they still sent him to jail, right?
Yeah.
So he had like another court date, so he was sitting in jail and he died.
He's just like, yeah, they
Yeah,
killed him.
yeah, and he died from like some cough or something. But like his daughter, all right, so like here's the crazy thing, Magic Johnson, the
Imagine,
basketball player.
I don't really watch basketball, but I
Yeah, so
think,
he was the guy who had AIDS, right?
I think I heard like a little bit of story of him, but that's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, he was really good. He had to like quit because he had AIDS. So basically, his daughter, because he had kids, right? His daughter's still alive, and she had like this TV show or something, or on YouTube, right? He basically said like, look at Magic Johnson. He looks healthy and good for his age, right? He
Yeah,
basically said his father cured him.
that's crazy right there.
Yeah, because like think about like someone with AIDS, right? Like they look
Yeah,
sick and ill and stuff, right?
yeah,
He still looks good to have quote unquote AIDS.
crazy. think that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, crazy to think that just people from the medical things are just like charging $500 for like insulin when like in Canada you could get it for like $5. But then again, like I feel like making insulin is like if I don't know, it's just like probably costs $10 to produce or something, and they're charging like 500 to 200 for like so just a thing to survive, basically.
Yeah, what is insulin used for again?
It's for diabetes. You know
Yeah,
how
yeah, okay.
yeah, most people can't produce insulin. Their body like just can't.
Yeah, the
So
body,
they
yeah.
yeah, so they use insulin basically to like inject themselves and like so they could just basically just live and won't die.
Yeah.
This is crazy to me to think that they're charging that much for just a vial of insulin.
But I mean, here's where like a medical like person would like try to catch you off guard. I feel like if they do say this, like think about like how long in America it takes to become a doctor.
Yeah, 8 years.
8, 10 years, right? I
Yeah,
was actually like I was just like doing research, just like looking up things for fun. So in Korea, I believe this is South Korea, to become a doctor, it takes 4 years.
4 years. Yeah,
But like, think about like, I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's South Korea. Like, think about like the. I mean, I'm pretty sure they. I think they have a great environment. You know,
I mean, yeah,
but I don't think it's nothing like the
but I feel
U.S.
yeah, it's nothing like the U.S. We're just like yeah, it's nothing like the United States.
So I think that's where they like trick you at, like all the equipment and all the stuff like the U.S. has. But like
Yeah,
honestly, like going back to it, think about like us with like COVID.
yeah,
We're like some of the only states that's still suffering from it. Everyone else either got what, like the vaccine, or they got like, or they just like beat it overall. Like small countries like Switzerland, Finland, even big countries like Australia, they all beat it.
like the Michael Jackson song.
Oh yeah, yeah, beat it. I got a question. You think he's still like around?
My bad. Um, who? Michael Jackson, is he still around?
Yeah, do you think?
I mean, what's the point of? I mean, I know like what would be the point of him like saying he died because of
Yeah,
all the charges he was being charged for.
yeah.
But I mean, he could have faked his death. It's not that hard.
Uh,
But yeah, who knows? He could have faked his death. Oh,
all right. Epstein.
I'm seeing like dude who killed himself
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or quote unquote. Yeah.
Quote
What did he
unquote.
do?
So basically, big sex trafficking ring,
Yeah.
right? And he was caught, and they convicted him and stuff. And basically, they said like, oh yeah, what do you call it? Like, yeah, you're going to jail and shit, right? Boom, he
Yeah.
goes to jail, and boom, he hangs himself, right? But if you look at the prison and how much he weighs, and just even the ceiling, you can't reach the ceilings, right?
Yeah.
I think they say like he hung himself on the shower. He's like 250. The I'm not even gonna say like 300, but he's like 250. Like so, yeah, he was heavy. And then if you look at like that shower, the picture, there's no way, bro.
Yeah. A showerhead cannot freaking
Hold him.
hold that man.
Yeah. But
I feel like, but what, yeah.
like if you look at every celebrity that went to his island, they don't talk about it. And then you want to know something interesting? like that I think or like could like be a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
So his girlfriend or like wife I think they were like dating or whatever, right? They were convicted of this, right? Oh, well, she was convicted of like touching a girl and stuff.
Yeah.
So she's on trial right now, right? It was big for like 2 weeks, and then it went all quiet. And there were like some other cases. I don't know if they're real or not, but before 2019, these cases of like like Barack Obama and all these. I mean, I don't think they're real, but this could make you think. They were like 2019, right? Like, and then it moved on to like February 2020. These cases were like, convicting them of like lying and all this and stuff, right? So it moved on to March, and you know what happened in March, and then nobody talked about it because everybody was like trying to fight off COVID and stuff, like trying to quarantine and stuff.
Yeah. Quarantine and all that jazz.
So that's why I say like media has like a heavy control, like of something, even like like something so little, like so say like oh like I don't know, they could say something like oh Joe Biden's son or just like Joe Biden in general is doing something right, and then everyone looks at a certain way at Joe Biden.
Yeah.
And then if you really think about it, like think about like Fox News and how they look at like Trump, and then same with CNN.
Yeah. They were like saying Trump was a bad man or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then look at like Fox News. They think
Yeah.
he's good and stuff.
It's just basically social media platforms battling with each other
Yeah.
to provide news.
So do you know what divide and conquer is?
Divide and conquer. Yeah. Divide and conquer.
Yeah,
Like when you divide
divide.
and conquer. I think so.
Yeah, so basically a lot of these secret societies, and like a big one is the Jesuits, right?
Yeah.
Um they they do this thing called divide and conquer. They divide people up by religion, sex, money, uh age. I already said wealth. But they divide them up like by so much, right? Political sides and stuff, right? And then they control them. They conquer them, right? Because okay, if you are a Trump fan and you make somewhat money, that means like you watch Fox News, you do this, you do that, you're a Christian. Um Compared to like someone who maybe is like a liberal, they make a lot of money, they're Muslim and stuff. They don't like each other because of what they do.
Yeah. It's basically like no matter what, humans would have conflict. Even
Exactly.
if they're rich, even I feel like that's still be our downfall for basically just conflict. Like with Ukraine and Russia. Yeah, all that jazz. I feel like I mean the Ukrainian government, but not government and people are like fighting off the Russians. Like I'm actually impressed. I was actually expecting them not to hold up this good. Like
Yeah.
it was actually amazing to see. Like just the legend being born, Ghost of Kiev.
Yeah.
Absolute like legend right there.
Exactly. And then what he did, he got an ace in 60 years.
Yeah, and like the first guy to get an ace in the 21st century. The thing is, it's kind of embarrassing for Russia. Like
But
gain,
I'm not gonna,
but yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, do you think Russia's holding back? Because like think about like what Russia has, like compared to Ukraine. Ukraine is using their citizens, and then they're using all their reserves and all their active duty. Compared to
yeah,
Russia, they have like I don't know how many active duty. I know they have 2 million reserves. They have a lot of uh a lot of like compared to Ukraine, they outnumber them by everything, right?
yeah,
So do you think like Russia is like I don't know waiting for Ukraine to slip up and then do like a massive invasion?
yeah. I mean, they could be actually.
Yeah, because like I mean like everything you see from Twitter is just like like small little things, like
Yeah.
maybe 1,000, 200,000, and then like 6 jets. I mean, that's what goes to Korea, and like just like little jets.
Yeah. Yeah, they're most definitely holding back because, yeah, they're most
Yeah.
definitely. But it's hurting their economy. Like, even using 200 troops to invade Ukraine, it's hurting them a lot. Like, their economy is literally about to fall. Like, if they were to use their 2 million troops, I feel like their economy on that, they would, like, basically go bankrupt.
Well, they kind of are. Did you hear what Joe Biden's saying?
He's cutting off all trade, all right, with Russia.
All trade, and then he's doing. I don't know. He used this big fancy word. Basically, the elites of Russia. He froze their banks, froze the citizens' banks, basically hurting them in the long term of
Yeah.
Russia. And then, did you also hear what he also said? Like, like have you seen like like U.S. troops going to Germany and stuff?
Yeah, going to Germany, like,
Yeah,
protecting their allies, yeah.
yeah, because so why or no?
What happened?
Like why they're going to Germany?
Uh, I mean, to protect our allies, is it not? Or is it
Yeah,
something?
no, because Joe Biden basically says Putin has way bigger plans than just Ukraine.
Yeah, because I don't know if this is true, but like I kind of heard that Russian troops are like not massing, but like they're gathering like getting near like Poland, kind of.
Yeah, close to Poland. I mean,
Yeah,
and then I remember like right before the invasion actually started, there was like Russia warships next to Iran, and then like some
yeah,
fisherman like basically told them to leave, and I don't know, they did.
yeah.
You
Because
like go ahead.
I was just going to say because like the people, man, they're fishing. That's how they make the profit. So they were pretty pissed at the Russians.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, what were you?
But to stare off a warship though.
Yeah,
But what do you call it? What do you call it? You have you seen like the Ukraine meeting? Like they like I mean they like I know there's multiple, but like one of them just like asked Russia like as soon as they invaded, they had like a meeting and they just asked Russia to stop. Like the amount of war crimes that have been committed, both Ukraine and Russia.
yeah. Like they're both committing
Oh
war
yeah.
crimes.
Yeah, but like I mean, there was like this one video I seen like where it was like this it was like a Russian tank, right? And it just like ran over a civilian car.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking, that was horrible.
and it was like an old lady too. Yeah, I mean the amount of just like war crimes they're just committed is crazy, and like nothing's being done.
I mean, it's a war. I mean, what can be done?
I mean, yeah, I mean crazy.
Because they're not. Because Putin's not gonna do jack shit for the guy who ran over that old lady's car. He ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't gonna force him to get martialed or something, stuff
Yeah,
like that. You
go
know?
to court basically. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, and then same thing, like, these are civilians that, I mean, because, like, I seen some of them, they were, like, I don't know, like, they was doing something to a Russian soldier, right? And
yeah,
basically, I mean, they're not gonna, I mean, these are civilians, they're not gonna go to court. I mean, I mean, their president is basically standing up with them.
yeah. The president of Ukraine. He's a badass. He's fighting with like his soldier right there. His
Yeah.
soldiers. While like fucking Putin's being too scared and being a little bitch and hiding in Russia.
I mean, here's a touchy subject.
All
You
right,
think,
I like that.
yeah, do you think the leader of Ukraine, I don't know his name, do you think he's hurting them by not surrendering?
Bring them by not surrendering.
Yeah, because like think about like okay, if he surrendered, right, and Russia basically claimed Ukraine as like part of Russia, like because I don't know what he's gonna do if he claimed Ukraine as Russia. If they like just said like okay, sure,
Yeah.
right. Let's just say
Mm.
like they live their normal lives. Do you think he's hurting them more by just fighting?
I feel not really, because what he's fighting for, or what I feel like he's fighting for, is just the freedom of the people. Like, because Putin, you know how Russia be like, they're just assholes too. They're like, they're civilians. You seen like how Russians live and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
some
yeah.
of them good lives, but others they don't.
Yeah, they live in like isolate. Yeah, like I seen some.
Yeah. So I feel like he's fighting more for like just freedom, not more than freedom, but like he's basically fighting for freedom. But to answer your question with the if he's hurting the Russian people by not surrendering, I don't think so.
Not the Russian people, the
Or
Ukraine people.
like Ukrainian people, yeah. I don't think so. I feel like he's he's just trying to protect that freedom that they have instead of being having to follow this
Surrender.
one
Yeah,
dictator. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, he's not a dictator, but he's a prime minister. But you know, he kind of acts like one.
I mean, he's been president basically since
Prime
19.
minister. Yeah,
Yeah, that's basically a
a
dictator right there.
dictator.
He's trying to So people are saying he's trying to rebuild the Soviet
Soviet
Union.
Union. Yeah,
Yeah, because he was part of the KGB and all that.
yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like that's what he's trying to do. I feel like I don't know. There's some. I feel like with Russia, there might be like a civil war gonna happen very soon with Russia because the people like when the people captures like Russian soldiers, they're like just they look dead. They look like they don't want to fight.
Yeah,
They're just like
they
scared
said
of,
they was forced or threatened.
yeah, because if they don't, they're gonna get killed.
Yeah,
It's basically using fear factor.
the fear tactics for sure. Do you
Yeah.
think if the Americans have a civil war, how would it like, be?
So if America has a civil
Yeah,
war, I feel like it would be like civil war. I feel like it would be like against the government, or
against.
like the wealthy or something like that.
Yeah, that's actually interesting. Cause like no one has said that one yet. It was always like conservatives and liberals going against it, like kind of like what you seen on like January 6th, right? Like
Yeah,
those like people like wanting to support the left and right. Basically, that's how people seen it. I think that would be like more of a revolution
yeah,
than a civil war because who would defend the rich, right?
yeah. For us,
Like if they were truly, I mean, they have been exposed multiple times, but like truly, like really put out there and possibly put out on like mass media, who would like support them?
no one would. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. So if there was a civil war gonna happen, I feel like there wouldn't really. I mean, I guess it would just be like with the government, really, because I don't see like no people fighting with each other. Maybe like the left and the right,
yeah, that's the only
probably,
one I see.
but I feel like they're not really fighting. I mean, they're just like just talking, like
It's
talking
arguing.
shit.
No, but I'm talking about like not like actual, not like the actual like political people that work in the office. I'm talking about like the people. Like if you take like a left person and then a right person, I mean, obviously they're not gonna like each other because they don't see eye to eye.
Yeah,
So like, what do you call it? A revolution, not a revolution, a civil war about that I could see, but with the rich, it's interesting.
yeah, but like it's America. We basically see each other as like basically like brothers in arms, basically, or like just like people in arms.
Yeah,
So I highly doubt it would be like average Americans fighting average Americans.
yeah. So, since we're talking about rich and war, how do you like another touchy subject? How do you feel about Iraq?
Iraq,
Mhm.
like with the bombing.
Yeah, was it worth it?
I haven't really been keeping up with the Midwest, or not Midwest, the Middle East, if I'm being honest.
Want to know?
Since like
Want to know something interesting? Though
what?
we created ISIS and Al Qaeda.
Oh yeah, basically yeah.
Yeah, with the CIA. I mean,
There's they
that shows
we
you what
didn't.
greediness can do. It can bite back.
It could bite us right in the ass. But yeah, Ukraine. Ukraine is not like Afghanistan. You know how they got taken over in like a day after United States soldiers left.
Yeah.
I feel like Iraq, they weren't like really even trying. They don't even want to fight for their country or like none of that.
They lost hope. They just want the war to stop because, like, I remember, like, when the troops left, right? People were just like saying, "I don't care who's in control. I just want to, want the violence to stop." Compared to,
Yeah,
Ukraine, they want their independence.
yeah, but yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that we spent like $1 trillion in fucking Afghanistan, and we sent soldiers for 20 years to fight and die in Afghanistan and like the Middle East, and for what like we brought home nothing. It was like basically like Vietnam. We
Yeah,
brought home nothing to show. Just
basically.
wasted trillions.
My God, we wasted so much money.
We could have wasted that trillion like fucking something actually important like healthcare here, better the American lives, like basic that fix the lead problem in like Flintstone, Michigan, or like something. You know how they be having
Yeah,
problems.
with their water. I mean, that's still going on, and that's still sad because
Yeah,
that
like
happened since like 19 something. I mean, I don't even know, but that's been going on for a while, and it's sad that those people still got to use that type of water.
modern day America, people. I feel like the American dream is just a lie. It's just
It's a
not
scam.
even real. It's a scam, yeah. Because like immigrants basically coming here, like they work and work. It's like, and they don't have nothing like just to get deported back to Mexico, back to like all that shit. Yeah,
I think that's like honestly, sad too, because, but I think it's really sad because like think about like majority of like think about like these big corporations who works in the warehouses.
yeah,
It's 9 times out of 10 it's immigrants because you know they 9 times out of 10 they really don't look at the background and stuff. They just need workers, need producers, because I know Amazon warehouses. You work there for a certain amount of time, and then there's a good chance that you'll get let go, and then they'll let someone new in because they don't want nobody to like rank up, right? Not rank up, but get promoted.
yeah,
So if they let you work for a certain amount of time, let you go, you can't complain that you've been working so long without a promotion or a raise.
yeah,
And then, if you think about who's a great person for this, it's immigrants. They really can't say nothing about it because, they're not from here legally. And
yeah. You can't
yeah,
fight
so
with that.
and the sad thing is, 9 times out of 10, they're just trying to support their family. So, they're working a good job and getting paid by Amazon, let go. Now they gotta go find another job to do this.
Yeah, so basically, like just like immigrants are doing jobs normal Americans don't want to do. And people are like complaining like, oh, the immigrants, they're taking our jobs. Oh, they're just taking everything from us. Like, and then like, but you don't want to work in the fields. You don't want to do like construction. You want to live in a nice comfortable house. You want to do a normal like office job or something like that.
Exactly. See, the thing is, like, these people just want to sit, work, and stuff, and
Yeah,
just like sit in an office. But here's the thing, like, again, with like some immigrants, they don't, will work in the like some of the shittiest conditions and get paid some of the lowest they could, and
yeah,
their boss would take them, take like for me. Okay, let's take me and you for example. Okay, let's say you're an immigrant, right? Let's say I'm getting paid like $10, not 10, like $19 an hour, right? And then you apply for the job and you'll take 5. I'll probably get let go and you'll probably have my position because
yeah,
you're willing to work probably longer hours and a lower pay. No complaint.
yeah. It's kind of like it's just corrupt everything.
It truly is. I mean, America is not, a land of the land of the dream is a lie. It's a scam. I feel, I mean, and like I said, another touchy subject. I feel like the land of the dream is only for majority
The
Caucasian people.
Yeah, the whites.
Yes, That's what I feel. Or unless you're willing to put in a serious amount of works and stuff, then this quote unquote land of the dream, whatever it's called, could be for you. Nine
Yeah.
tenths out of 10, you guys are gonna have a home. You're gonna work for you're gonna work until you're 50 or 40. Then you're gonna retire when you're about 70, and you're not gonna enjoy your retirement because you're not getting paid as much.
You're not getting paid and you're old and you can't do something like
Exactly.
while you're young.
But here's also the great thing about like our generation. But the bad thing, we're so ignorant, but we live in the time where money is so easy. Like think of NFTs, stocks, uh, just
Bitcoin
anything
might.
crypto wise.
Yeah.
We live in a time where money, like we can let like if you sit down, do about 3 hours of research, you can literally learn how to make like 20K in a week off
Yeah.
NFTs or crypto.
Computers and shit.
Exactly, or just mining if you want to do that. If you have the money to do that,
It's like 20 grand for a setup, right? Something like that.
yeah, or yeah, it depends on what you're mining too. I think
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about mining, but yeah, man, it's crazy
You. It's crazy. You seen like the stocks?
going up and down. I seen them go all the way down in Russia. It was like
Yeah.
there was one at like a really high peak, and then after Joe Biden did that, like I don't know what word he used, but he basically like stopped all the banks. It crashed.
Yeah. They're. I feel like they're about to go back to like the Soviet Union
Yeah, I
ages,
mean
and that.
I mean we are also creating the Soviet Union because like if you think about history, there was not many people rich in Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Everyone was poor. I mean, when Stalin ruled, everyone was poor, but they followed him because he was a dictator and stuff. You didn't want to get sent to the gulag, you know? So honestly, yeah, maybe we're helping out Ukraine, but we're also painting the painting the perfect picture for the Soviet Union, Russia.
Yeah, and that's the sad part because it's just like the capitalists helping basically the
The
communists.
communists, exactly. But and then you got to think of like a open mind here, like also people like the Russian people be like, oh yeah, we're gonna like the US. They're trying to, nah, bro, we just hurt them so much. We probably just made their family go homeless by freezing their banks.
That's what I'm kind of saying. Like, I feel like there's gonna be like a civil war or something in Russia because like just
Yeah,
all the shit that's happening, and I feel like if their economics crash, that's like it. Like the people are gonna fucking be angry and shit, and they're gonna like start rioting and shit like that.
yeah, it's gonna I feel like the side is gonna be like this: the people that are gonna support the whole change of Soviet Union, and there's people that wants to stop all of this and go back to their lives. So
Yeah, it's
basically, like the people that support the government and then the workers are gonna be the two sides that's going at this.
Yeah, so basically be like the Tsar versus like the Communist Party when the communists was trying to like fucking take over,
Exactly. So like, in a way we're like really recreating history, repainting it at least.
repainting. Yeah, all this just the victors is written or like the story is written by the victors or something like that.
Exactly.
History is made by the victors. There we
Yeah.
go.
That's exactly it.
But yeah, we're just don't be in a loop because this happens like every century. Like no matter the time, no matter the ages, no matter the technology, it
No
just always
matter.
happens.
Yeah, it's always a dictator
A
that wants
dictator.
to that wants to do something and then they mess up. So yeah, man. I mean that's crazy though. But
It is
like
crazy.
but like if we're following correctly, if this is history, we, after they have their like little civil war, we might move into a cold war, and then we'll chill out for like 30 years, and then after like after 100 years, right, if we do have kids and stuff, then our kids will start to grow into another pandemic life. Because yeah, have you seen? I'm pretty sure you have like the whole 100 years of a epidemic or
Yeah, like
pandemic.
1720 it was the plague,
Yep,
1820 it was something, 1920 it was the Spanish flu, and then now it's COVID.
yep.
Yeah, I seen it.
I mean, that really makes you like question things, you know?
It's just basically where we eating life. Like, when we were like hunters and like all those stuff, like we were just living our lives. Like we were just surviving. Like I feel like that part, like, because I feel like when people go back to like being their like prime, not primitive ways and all that stuff, like having to survive. I feel like that's when humans were truly actually kind of happy.
Yeah.
Now it's just like we had to worry about mass killings, we had to worry about nuclear bombs, we had to worry about diseases and all that stuff.
See, I mean, like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like they, like, I don't remember this guy, but, basically he said civilizations was the downfall of humankind, right?
Yeah,
And it is, like, think about, like, all the weapons we have. Like, we have nukes, right?
yeah,
Something, if you don't get like, incinerated, then you could die of radioactivity, or you can get, like, fourth degree burns and stuff, right?
yeah,
And honestly, that is sad, but like honestly, we came a long way from, like, evolution within the mind and thinking. And
yeah,
basically, it's just like, we went wrong so many times, but nobody has, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure someone has said, like, hey, we're moving too fast, but nobody cared.
yeah. We just, it's crazy to think like fucking 50 years ago, like we only like had basically like shitty ass computers, like blocky ass complete computers and stuff.
Yeah.
Now we got like computers that could like run like crazy amount, like 20 gigabytes, 30 gig, fucking a terabyte. And the computers back like 50 years ago, they barely had like 2 megabytes.
You know,
Crazy we went from that to this.
the crazy thing about, like, computers? I mean, like, before we do this, how do you feel on the landing? Like the first moon landing?
I feel like it's real. I don't know why people say it's fake.
Huh?
I feel like it's real. I don't really know why people are saying it's fake.
Well, I don't know, man, because like I seen like this little kid explain it, and that little kid, I mean, he was like at least like 16 or something. But if you're younger than me, I feel like you're little. But he basically explained like how like it's not fake. But okay, so you know how they took the picture, right?
Yeah.
There was no stars. That's like number one. Then
Well,
go ahead.
there was no stars because it was facing the sun side of the moon.
Yeah. Okay, and then you know how the flag was moving, or like
Uh,
in that like motional thing.
yeah.
Yeah, so but that, I mean, I still think there's
Well,
not a lot of truth to that moon landing.
the, the thing is, the flag wasn't actually moving. They were, they used like a pole to hold up the
Yeah,
flag.
that's
It
that's
wasn't.
what that kid explained. Yeah, and like they were trying to wiggle it in or something, and that's what caused it to have that moment.
Yeah.
But another thing, there was one more. Oh yeah, so the boot. Did you
Yeah.
see his like boot or something?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was the boot, the footprint he left on the moon compared to the boot he actually wore were, different.
But they were different. But like, there's this thing like where you could attach. Like, I don't know what it's called, but like that's kind of why he had a different like footstep
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Because like, if you look in the moon, you could still see the Apollo 11 landing. Like people are taking photos of Apollo 11 landing, like the spacecraft that landed on the moon.
yeah. I mean,
I mean,
however
yeah,
you look at it, to me, the first moon landing is sketchy. But now, now we're sending celebrities, billionaires into space. They're having their own space race, which is,
yeah.
crazy. it was first countries, then space companies, and now it's just individual billionaires, and now it's celebrities.
Yeah, it's just like space, the space age. No matter what, humans are just gonna be so, like fascinated by space and like what's out there. Like, because do you really think like we went from government to like now space? Like, but do you think we're actually the only humans alive, like
Oh,
only
of
living
course not.
already here?
Nah. I don't at all.
Yeah, same here. I feel like there's like some because the universe is just never ending spam. Like it's just going on forever and ever.
Ever, yeah. It goes on and on. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we can't be the only humans, but then again, we might because life is. We weren't even supposed to be here. Life is like it's basically kind of impossible.
I feel like there is possible, but like I feel like we are supposed to be here, like at least on Earth, like because like think about like Earth, like not like let's go like back like how you said like primal age, right? We had
Yeah,
everything to live, right? We had food, we had some like if you find a place, you had clean water, and you had like basic necessary tools to hunt with or like clean, and then you
yeah,
had men and women to repopulate. So, I feel like Earth is good compared to like, living on Mars, and the gravity's different.
yeah,
And like, I don't know, there's other planets where it rains diamonds and stuff. So, and the wind speed is out of like crazy. So, I feel like Earth is perfect, or at least it was like a perfect, a purpose, fuck, purpose for us.
purpose. But like the thing is, we don't really know that purpose though. Like we're just on this rock. We live for like not even 1% of the Earth's lifetime, and we just die.
Yeah, but I feel like that purpose is within you. Cause like for me, I feel like I found my purpose, and that's like doing YouTube, podcasting, waking people up about like corruption and stuff like that, and just like overall, like talking about like people about like stuff like this, and just like interviewing stuff. I feel
Yeah,
I feel
but
like that's my purpose.
yeah, like, but the thing, it's just so amazing to think that like basically lives basically seemed impossible, and then like a fucking thing just came out the ocean or like something like that and just started living.
Yeah.
That's just absolutely crazy.
Like, okay, I got a question for you, and this is another touchy one. Do you believe in evolution, or do you believe in like God?
I believe in like kind of both really. I believe in evolution. I feel like evolution and God.
Okay. So like explain both, because like this is actually interesting. You're like the first person that says both.
So all right. Oh, I actually be back because I got to use the restroom really
All right, cool,
badly.
cool, cool.
All right. Coffee break.
Yes, sir.
So God and evolution, right?
Yeah,
All right. So I feel like God like put us like basically the orgasm and all that shit on Earth and stuff. Like he basically like made the sun and made the universe and all that. I
yeah,
believe in that, of course, obviously. But I also believe like with the evolution, I feel like God basically like just let us evolve. We're just basically God's little sandbox
yeah.
and stuff.
No,
I
no.
feel like
Here's the question: like, do you believe God made humans, or humans came from, like monkeys, and then from monkeys it was like Homo
I,
sapiens, and then stuff like that.
yeah, with the thing with Adam and Eve, I don't really believe that because then it would like it doesn't really make sense because then how would like the children repopulate? Like would they repopulate with each other? That's like something like I don't think God would like be
Yeah,
chill. So I feel like he he made the orgasm and all that stuff, and he basically like let them evolve. Like he allowed them to evolve and let us have this mind and like all that jazz.
Yeah. I mean,
So
go ahead.
I believe in both. I believe in like God made us, but He let us evolve.
Yeah, so I mean, I believe in like the universe and like God. Like I believe in like we're all God, we're all one, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's the same, right? We come from like everything. But I do believe in like in the beginning, right? Or like I mean, like cuz like I believe in the universe. I don't really like take in like the Bible concept. I believe like God made like the universe and made earth, sun and everything, and then it made on humans on earth, and then maybe it made like aliens on other planet, because like I said, like earth is the perfect planet for us.
Yeah.
And then with evolution, I feel like we evolved like mentally or like even physically, right? Because like if you take like a quote unquote homo sapien, we don't look
Oh
the same,
yeah. Yeah. Different
right?
humans. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I feel like there's different humans on this
Yeah.
planet that like
There
live
was.
and yeah. And I feel like we just evolved, we took care of ourselves, and then like that's how civilization has treated us, right? Like
Yeah.
if you take someone from like ancient Rome to like a quote unquote average male today, they look completely different. Probably the ancient Rome dude is probably taller, stronger, smarter, maybe smarter, right? Compared to
Yeah.
an average person today. And the ancient Rome dude is way more confident.
So what I believe is just like technology is basically devolving us.
It could do both. You just gotta be careful how you use
Yeah.
technology. It's like I mean, like we said with like the whole NFTs, I mean that can really make you smart. I mean not smart, that can really make you like successful and wealthy. But
Just yeah.
but if you treat it like gambling and like an addiction, then it can really hurt you and devolve you.
Yeah. It's basically like yeah, it could hurt you, but at the same time, if you play your cards right, it could actually help you a lot.
Oh yeah.
But you know though, hey, have you ever watched Spy Kids?
Spy Kids, I think I have.
Yeah, you know this one quote. I don't know which Spy. I think it was like in Spy Kids 2. This guy, like I forgot his name, but he was like, "Do you think God hides in heaven because he's too scared to come down, like because he's too scared of his creation or something like that?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that quote. Like it's kind of I don't know.
I
Like
remember
did did God abandon us or not? He didn't. He didn't abandon us. Obviously, I believe that he's still with us and all that stuff. But like you know, when you know the Bible, right?
yeah, yeah.
You know when like Eve ate that apple, right?
Yeah.
The forbidden fruit, because
Yeah.
the devil forced, not force her, but like
The
kind of told
serpent.
her to do it.
Yeah.
You know that basically symbolizes that we gain knowledge and like that's when God kind of like, all right, you're on your own. Like, good luck. I'll still be here, but like it's gonna be different and stuff. You
Mhm.
don't do your own things by yourself and all that. So that's basically not when God abandoned us, but like when God was like, all right, my creations, you are gonna roam this earth and all that jazz, you know? But yeah,
I do.
it's
I
funny.
mean, I do feel like that. That's like what it is. Cause like before, it was like, oh, we need God to do this. Let's pray and let's call upon Him and stuff. And now, since Eve ate the apple, we have the knowledge to fend for ourselves, defend ourselves. Do what needs to be done. Right.
Yeah, with that forbidden fruit, we basically gained the knowledge of killing and having wars with each other because no
Yeah.
other like apes or like things would have wars with each other. Maybe like territories, but like other than that, we wouldn't. They wouldn't really have wars. They don't have mass soldiers to like kill each other and stuff.
Exactly. That's. Yep.
But yeah,
I mean, do you have anything else to talk about or say?
uh, I think that's about it. Do you believe in the Skinwalkers?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, 100.
Yeah, I kind of believe in them. I like it's like witches like pretending to be coyotes and all that shit, and they could like take the life not lives but shape shift with like different animals and stuff.
Yeah. So it's a Native American witch, right? And it's called like
Yeah,
something, and you should see their normal form. It's like pretty creepy. And then basically, I think like anything they attack or like eat, they can shift too.
yeah, they eat and like they usually use the pellets of that animal to like hide themselves.
Yep. Like yeah.
It's kind of I feel like that's actually kind of real. I mean, like, but at the same time, I don't know what to think about it. Like, is this Skinwalker a myth or is it actually like true?
True that,
Because if
yeah.
it is, it kind of explains why like some people, not some people, but like all these sightings and weird stuff that's been happening. Like, who knows? Maybe we're just cursed to be warring with each other and having diseases.
I mean, I don't think that. Like, have you heard about like the like old like if the skinwalkers are true? Have you heard of like the history of it?
Of what?
Skinwalkers, like in America.
Skinwalkers in America. I haven't. I haven't really heard this.
So
In America, yeah,
so basically, it was like basically like people have been seeing them, right? And then Theobald can't say his name. Theobald Roosevelt, right? Set up these like national parks, and then he also set up like a special team, right? To like catch these things because like Theobald Roosevelt, he was really about like the environment, protecting it, like
yeah,
that's why he like set up national parks and stuff. So and basically, like people would like go missing, and then like they would go missing at this point, and then be thousands and like hundred of miles away to where the actual body was found. And then
yeah,
so he was like, okay, something's wrong. It's not a human, of course. So they set up like these teams to find them, right? And then there's nothing else after that.
yeah,
Well, after what I researched, I found nothing else. But yeah, man, like it's really interesting. Cause like I mean, I do feel like there's something out there. Like I mean, like over like when I was younger, I did like believe in Bigfoot, but like as I got older, like now I'm like I don't know, man.
Bigfoot. I don't really believe in him. Like, how is a 7 foot monkey looking man not been captured after like hundreds of years?
I know. And then he's
I feel
been
like we
living
could
for
have
a
find.
while.
I feel like we could have at least found some footprints or like a skeleton of a dead one or like just feces of one.
Yeah, here's the thing. Oh yeah, that's actually interesting. I mean, I'm not keeping up with the show. I mean, when I was younger, I did watch it, but they have like that's what caused it. They seen like these big footprints, and then they looked in the woods at night, and then they see him. But like, one thing isn't like apes or monkeys? Aren't they like daytime? They're not nocturnal, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not nighttime. They're basically like humans. They sleep
Yeah,
during the night.
yeah.
I
So
mean,
like,
some at night, but other than that, they hunt at day.
yeah. So like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
And then I don't think they found feces of him because it would be huge.
yeah, it would be fucking humongous. But with Skinwalkers, it's like a different story because like I kind of see some truth to it. Like all these people dying and like they're missing, and then all these guys like in a forest. I feel like there's like actually something out in that forest. But yeah,
Have you heard of the back rooms?
the back rooms, like yeah, like the rooms. I'm actually not. I don't know nothing about the back rooms. All I
Yeah.
know is that it's a room with like creatures or like scary monsters,
Uh,
whatever.
I played a game, right? So like Rec Room, it's basically like the off version of the metaverse, and you could play on Xbox. Well, you played it before, yeah.
Yeah, I played with you. I think.
Yeah. And basically, there's a game, and it's like the back rooms, bro. It is scary.
Oh yeah. Oh,
So
you want to talk about VR? Like, what do you think about virtual reality?
yeah, but hold on, let me get this done. So like, there's a room and there's like a spider, and you have to like find a vent or whatever. I mean, I don't know how many rooms there are. I think there's like a ton because like you keep like it's like a dream state. You just keep waking up and going, but bro, it's scary. I ain't gonna lie. If that is real, bro, I would do anything in my power to not get there.
Imagine you just go there and then like you're just walking the back rooms for like tens of years, and then you just stumble across like a room, just like a guy streaming fucking Leagues of Legends. But yeah, I think that's all I could think about in this podcast.
All right. Well, you said you want to talk about VR, so
Oh, yeah, I'll totally go down for like talk about VRs.
what do you? So like, what's your opinion on it? Like, I mean, like VR or like the metaverse?
Kind of both, like just VR and virtual reality and all that jazz. I feel like that will be like the new life, basically. Like, I don't know, maybe we'll have jobs in the fucking virtual reality. It's not too far off from like all the shits that's been happening. Having
Uh,
jobs in VR.
I mean, I think it's actually a change because like think about like the pandemic. How many people had to like work home?
Yeah,
Then okay, so you got these people working at home, right? But maybe they're missing meetings or something, right? So just put on a headset, boom, you're there with them
yeah, but I feel like it's
instead of
also a way.
doing Zoom.
Yeah, I feel like it's also a way to control us, though.
Oh,
Because
one
then
hundred percent.
we're not be fixated in this virtual reality, this fake fucking life, and then we're not gonna be worried about what's going on outside. Like that's basically, I feel like that's how they don't try to control us right there.
Have you seen our the latest episode of us?
The in the your drizzle, right?
Yeah.
No,
On the Deep Conscious podcast.
oh no, I haven't.
So we already talked about the metaverse, but like, dude, like, there's already people spending $500,000. Okay, there was a dude that spent like almost $500,000 to get a house next to Snoop Dogg.
And it was like fake.
No, it's not. It's not fake. It's just
Not
in the
fake, but
metaverse. So
in the
like,
metaverse.
to me, kind of fake. Because like,
Yeah,
you're not actually living next to Snoop Dogg. You're just, I mean, like when you put this headset on, yeah, but like, nah,
that's
not
about it.
really.
Not in real life. I feel like
Yeah,
that's how far just don't be controlled by them. Just wanting to live this fake life that
I know.
doesn't really matter.
And then you could have celebrities like set up these neighborhoods, and then boom, people would buy just to live
For
next to Kim Kardashian,
it's kind of
Snoop
just
Dogg,
like
Eminem.
Kim Kardashian. Who wants to live near her? Honestly,
Oh, I mean, you get to live next to Kanye. That's a plus.
Kanye,
Yeah,
I guess. But yeah, it's. I feel like it's kind of dumb. But like we're getting so far. Like we went from big blocky old fucking computers that filled up one room to like a device that you could hold in your hand that holds more storage than like thousands of those computers, to
exactly,
like virtual reality, living another life basically.
exactly. But it's also dangerous living another life.
Yeah, like once once you get worried about that, you're not gonna be worried about like what's going on in real life and like what's happening to other people and shit. You don't be worried about like, oh, this virtual reality, I have to get on it and do all these things.
Yeah. Or it could be like, oh, my life is crappy in the world. Let me go hop on the virtual reality and live this amazing lifestyle that everyone loves me. You know,
Yeah.
that could be it.
Instead of wanting to better themselves, they don't resort into like virtual reality, have wanting to live this fake life.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just crazy to think.
Yeah. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching all the way to the end. If you have, make sure to like, hit the subscribe button. if you want to check out Crab Meat and all his social medias, and anyway, the content will be down below. If you do like this video, make sure to subscribe, share with a friend, and hit that notification bell for me. Peace.
Peace out.